Yo, what's up, guys? Insane Game Freak here to bring you Astarotte's Toy Episode 6 review. Um, this was, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I'm actually, now, for anyone who wants to know, the character that's introduced in this episode, Ingrid, she is in the manga, but I do not remember what pretense she's introduced under, so I don't know how canon this is. But at this point, I don't remember that much else, and I'm fine with that, honestly, because then I can just fully enjoy it, the anime, for all its glory, or for its version of it anyway. But the episode was handled fairly well. The only thing I say it kind of irked me is a few like retarded fan service moments. Like the thing about fan service is that it has to be logical fan service at one, and two, it has to be like understandable on some level. And like logic fan services, I'm talking about when you see panty shots and it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's the type of fan service I can't stand. Or like there's an action being done and then all of a sudden you see fucking panties for no reason. See that's retarded to me. At least the only fan service one I can actually really remember in this, like the straight up fan service, like straight up fan service would be when Nalia and Zelda and Asuha are on the dragon and flying off and see her underwear. That was logical, but kind of pointless to me, unless they were trying to like hint at the next thing. Because the episode in itself is literally just she gets that Lotte gets tickets to the amusement park. Um, Getting these tickets, she wants to ask Naya to go with her with the amusement park because she has memories of her mom taking her. So she's like, well, now you take me, which it kind of, that's, to me, that's another hint at the father daughter kind of thing. But whatever. But she never got a chance to ask him because everybody else kept asking him for favors and shit. Like Olev wanted to help him with the trees. Judith wanted to help with some training. Not Judith, Zelda. Zelda wanted to help with some training. Effie wanted to help with some bullshit chores like carrying stuff. And Judith sent him out to do some shopping. And freaking Lotte got really annoyed at everybody and really got mad at Naya because Naya just lets everyone take advantage of him. Pretty much, it's kind of strengthening her relationship where she actually wants to talk to Naya now. If we remember from the beginning of the episode, she just like talk shit about him and everything. Like the beginning of the series, it was like, I don't want to be bothered with Naya. Naya doesn't need to be here and all the other crap. And now it's like, what the hell? He's my toy. Why is it that I don't get to have fun with my toy? Uh, and the whole point is that she wants to take him to the amusement park. And I do remember that being in the manga about them going to the amusement park. And I hope there's also a scene that happens in the amusement park. And I really, 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 really hope they don't do. Or at least if they do, they don't. But they didn't even go into the amusement park stuff like I thought they did. What apparently happens in the anime is she goes missing that night. And everyone's looking for her. And they find out. And Nalia finds her under the big ass tree that he, teleported through and whatnot. And they have like this little bullshit argument about how she's mad at him, and she's like, maybe you should just go back to the realm of man. And her tail glows, and then the tree glows, and she gets transported back to the world of man. She gets transported to the world of man. So pretty much now the situation is, Lotte is in Naya's house, which I don't even understand that logic, how she understood that was Naya's house, but it's anime. I guess I shouldn't try to put that much logic into it. But she's in Naya's house. She's living in the world of man because she's still mad at Naya and everybody else. So she's just chilling there, and apparently Judith had like these little fairy creatures take care of his house. So while she's there and she's messing with the world of man kind of stuff, the fairy creatures are taking care of like all the chores and whatnot. So I thought that was cool. But they're trying to get her back, and she won't fucking pick up the phone, the interdimensional phone apparently. And so it is suggested to go see this sage whose name is Ingrid. I forget her last name because it was just too fucking complicated. And she's also a manga character, Ingrid. I do like the joke they did with her, where it's like Julius tries to warn Nalia about it because he's like, I've never actually talked to her, and he's like, why have you never talked to her? And Effie goes into her explanation of the reason why they've never talked is because the one time she did go over there, Ingrid has these riddles, and fucking Judith couldn't answer the riddle. And what now? The reason, and now she's bugged by that, and the fact that she doesn't know why her answer was wrong. So she technically never talked to she never talked to Ingrid. So they go over and visit, and this is where the episode gets like there's a lot of ridiculous comedy here because the riddle that they're presented with, which is Naya and Asa, because Zelda's just standing there with the dragon. I guess she didn't want to go in or whatever. And fucking the fucking riddle. The riddle's actually legitimate riddles, like about freedom and about something you need to get rid of in order to fly and have a sense of freedom and everything. And now he's thinking about it scientifically, thinking of eggs for birds, like the eggshell for a bird, or the skin, or like the shedded skin of a cicada. And he's wondering which it could possibly be. And the first thing that comes out of Ozha's mind is, and if anyone knows, Ozha has this whole thing about not wearing underwear. So obviously the first thing she thinks is, oh, a sense of freedom, and she takes off her underwear and puts it in the little box. And Ingrid is on the intercom, mind you. And the Ingrid's like, did you just put panties in the goddamn answer box? And Naya's just like, I'm sorry. And she's like, yeah! And Ingrid's like, okay, that's right, you can come in. And Naya's like, what? Because it was ridiculous how, it didn't make any sense. But it was still funny. This is where we get an explanation of the situation, pretty much. That succubuses are the only ones who can, go through the tree. They actually have the natural ability to do that. It's not a magical thing. It's just that succubuses can travel through that tree. So all the crap Judith has been doing relating to magic doesn't do jack shit. Because if Lotte wants to come back, all she needs to do is use her powers, a magic power she does have, and go through it. Only her and the queen can do that. So when it boils down to it, she will eventually come back on her own. The reason why is because in the world of man, monsters tend to lose their abilities, their magical powers. So literally, Lotte's just gonna get drained to the point where eventually she won't be able to restore power. So she'll eventually have to come back. Naya, unfortunately, is very forceful and wants to face to face apologize to her and wants to go there, back home to wants to go back home to apologize to her face to face. And she gets. I mean, one of the funny things that Ingrid says is that and then what Ingrid is pretty much, I think she's like a bunny girl, like a legitimate bunny girl, like as an actual monster. And she's really small, but she's somewhat of a sage. You don't understand that logic. But then again, we don't know that much about backstory, because I remember she has a backstory, which I'm assuming is probably going to come up in the next episode or whatnot. But anyways, Naira's like, could you come back anyway and help me, try to get over there? Just in case, because I guess he's really worried and he wants to apologize for hurting her, for ignoring her. And while this is going on, all you have in the back, and all you have on Lotte's side is she's trying to get used to all these human man-made things. I'm not gonna say this confused me. There's a scene in there where she's using the restroom and she pushes the button and water squirts out of nowhere from under the toilet. Which I mean in America, I have no idea what the fuck that is about. But apparently in Japan, I'm assuming that's a way to clean yourself. I don't get it. I don't. That's just me though. There's also another point where she's sitting on something that looks like a trash can that's vibrating. I have no idea what that is. I think that might be a trash compactor. I'm not totally sure. And the last thing you see her do is she's looking through a whole bunch of baby pictures of Naya in a scrapbook that ends halfway. And that's really what Lotte's been doing the entirety of the episode. She's kind of just mellowing out and shit. But anyways, Ingrid comes back to check on to see how Lotte's doing, and there's actually another joke because Judith uses a crystal ball to see how Lotte's doing, and Ingrid uses this machine, and she's like, "Oh, Ingrid, your machine's in color. Judith's crystal ball is in black and white," and she's like, "Ha ha 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 ha!" Of course, and Ingrid's like, and Judith's like, "Fuck you, Ingrid." I thought that was pretty funny. But then pretty much the episode kind of ends on a be continued situation because if we find out that she doesn't have any magical power left, which means Latte doesn't have enough power to get back home. Period. So for any of you fans of the Queen, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the Queen next episode in some shape or form because, as they said, succubusses are the only one who can travel through this tree willingly, which explains why the tree was thought to be like bullshit in the beginning of the series. Because only succubusses can go through them, so we're probably gonna see the Queen to go get her daughter, probably, and we know she's gonna go get her daughter. It's not that complicated, but that's really the end of the episode. And it's considering it's like a part one of a situation. It's not a bad episode. I mean, as always, I'm going to link to the Crunchyroll site to watch the episode and the fandompost.com review. It was on Mania, but I think the dude's name is Chris, switched sites, and so his reviews are now on fandompost.com. So those two will be in the description. It's honestly, in a nutshell, the episode was pretty decent. I enjoyed it. I think he gave it a B, which seems like straight. I think he gave last episode a B plus. Yeah, because last episode was better, uh, for obvious reasons. But this was still a good episode. So, tell me what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Uh, I'm not even gonna use the catchphrase that much anymore because it just seems out of place and kind of stupid now. Let's run when I do the stuff for the other shows, it's like King of the Pirates, Next Okage, Greatest Disciple. It works because you could say that at any point and it would be fine. Saying she wants his life seems kind of pointless considering the anime is not even that straightforward anymore. Um, but good episode. I enjoyed it. I've noticed on my last few videos they've been laggy. I have no idea why because I'm recording just like I normally do. Fucking computer likes to be fickle sometimes. But anyways, life's a game. Play to win. I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Peace.